Climbing is a mirror. Like when I started, I was, maybe like physically really made for it. Strong fingers, very flexible, and I had pretty much strength straight away because I'm very explosive. But at the same time, I couldn't breathe. I was shaking like hell. That was like pretty terrible. But this made me face like on something. Mm-hmm. I was pretty successful on other sports straight away. And in climbing, I was successful, but I had so much to face. Yeah, like to grow up as a person through my climbing. And also like there was a lot of people who did not believe on me. And
so you thought, okay, I have to do it. If they don't believe I can, I will show them?
It was not only that, but it's like for sure like a full luggage of things. It was a challenge. Also, like I could prove also. That was good.
Hi and welcome to BIN WEG BOULDERN episode 32 with an interview with the French climber Mélissa Le Nevé. To all the English speakers, yes, the interview will be in English and it will start in 1 to 2 minutes, but before, some words in German. Hi und willkommen bei BIN WEG BOULDERN-Folge 32. Mein Name ist Juliane Fritz und ich habe die unglaublich tolle Mélissa Le Nevé getroffen. Und ich muss den jüngeren Boulderern vielleicht erklären, wer das ist. Das ist eine Boulderin und Kletterin aus dem wunderschönen Fontainebleau. Sie ist 29 Jahre alt, war jahrelang sehr erfolgreich für das französische Nationalteam unterwegs. 2016 hat sie aufgehört mit dem Wettkampfklettern und sie ist jetzt passionierte Outdoor-Boulderin und Kletterin. Nur manchmal sieht man sie noch bei den internationalen Wettkämpfen. Zum Beispiel hat sie dieses Jahr Quiff in Sheffield gewonnen. Und sie war auch bei den Studio Bloc Masters in Darmstadt und dort habe ich sie getroffen. Und ich muss dir sagen, es war wirklich wahnsinnig toll, mit ihr zu reden. Sie sprüht so vor Begeisterung für den Sport. Sie hat super viel zu erzählen. Es geht um ihre Wettkampfkarriere, warum sie aufgehört hat mit den Wettkämpfen. Was ziemlich interessant ist, wirst du hören, weil eigentlich liebt Mélissa die Wettkampfbühne. Sie hat mir von ihrem Training erzählt. Es geht natürlich auch ums Draußenbouldern. Und ich wünsche dir ganz viel Spaß mit dieser Folge, egal wo du gerade bist. Ich habe ja diese Woche bei Instagram mal gefragt, zu welcher Gelegenheit ihr meinen Podcast hört, also was ihr macht, während ihr mir zuhört. Das heißt, ich kann euch jetzt ganz persönlich ansprechen, dort wo ihr seid. Zumindest ein paar von euch. Ich kann jetzt leider nicht alle aufzählen. Also, Sophia, hab einen tollen Tag an der Uni. Sabi, ich wünsche dir eine gute Zugfahrt. Maximilian, viel Spaß beim Gassigehen mit deinem Hund. Und Danny, bitte mach's dir gemütlich auf deiner Couch. Habt alle ganz viel Spaß mit der wundervollen Mélissa Le Nevé. Bevor es in die Folge geht, eine kurze Werbung. Diese Folge von BIN WEG BOULDERN wird dir präsentiert von TIMA-Travels. Kletterreisen und Bouldertrips in Europa, alles aus einer Hand. Du willst den Sprung von der Halle an den Fels machen? Du willst erleben, wie es ist, draußen zu klettern und zu bouldern? TIMA-Travels kümmert sich um alles. Die Organisation vor Ort, Essen und Material. Du bekommst tolle Coaches und Guides. Es gibt Yoga-Sessions. Und TIMA-Travels legt bei allem viel Wert auf Nachhaltigkeit und Naturschutz. Sie achten darauf, dass die Klettergruppen klein bleiben und sie wollen, dass sich alle so fühlen wie zu Gast bei Freunden. Ende April, Anfang Mai gibt es gleich 2 Boulderreisen nach Fontainebleau und BIN WEG BOULDERN-Hörer bekommen dafür 10% Rabatt mit dem Code BW-BOULDERN-10. Den Code und die Details dazu findest du in den Shownotes. Natürlich auch den Link zur Webseite von TIMA-Travels. The first World Cup I ever visited was in Munich in 2014. I had just been bouldering. Yeah, you remember. Been bouldering for 1 or 2 years and I did not know much about these competitions. And there was one woman there that caught my eye in Munich because she seemed like a real tough fighter to me. Very exciting, and like she didn't give up, tried to find her way through the boulder, and I was really enjoying to watch her, and today I can meet her. Mélissa Le Nevé.
Wow, thank you.
Hi.
Nice words. Hey, hi.
Yeah, it's so nice to meet you.
It's pretty much like the words people likes to like stick to me, like proper fighters through things. Not like the best better all the time, but make it work because I push it.
Yeah, but that's so interesting as for the audience to see someone fighting, thinking, like you see the brain working. What can I do? That's so interesting. It really, and because you enjoy yourself so much, and we see you smile so much there on the stage. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, thank you.
So at first we are at the Studio Bloc Masters today. How do you feel?
Pretty great to be here. A lot of people. It's qualification were pretty tough, I think, and it's pretty hard to handle. But no, I'm pretty happy to be here. Like meet against a lot of friends, see like younger generation popping up, and like I retired since pretty much 2 years now, and still around in the corner, like checking out like what's going on in this field, and it's pretty nice. Like it, it's friends.
Yeah, maybe you can imagine that a lot of people have questions now because you stopped competing and you've been at the quiff. You are here now. What does it mean? Are you coming back? Or do you just want to check out how the younger climbers are doing?
No, like I always enjoy doing master in general because there is no pressure from, like, for example, like as a team or French Federation, like, or myself, for example, with really high expectation on like World Championship or World Cups. Just coming and try to give my best and just like it, like the format, I have more fun and I can. It's easier for me to be more in the mood and like enjoy myself and enjoy the boulder, enjoy the field. So just like it. No, I'm not coming back. It's not for now. Like at least it's not for this year for sure.
Okay. So no qualifying for Olympia or anything.
No qualifying for Olympia. I really think it's not like the format. Actually, is not my thing. For Paris, I could question myself. Like. Question if like I would like to go. For that, I will have to prove myself to the French Federation again or change country. But I will have to prove anyway myself to come back. So that could be a question because this is way more my style. Like because I'm pretty like polyvalent, especially like lead and bouldering. But for now, like with speed, when I took this decision in 2016, it was also like considering this decision about Olympia and just thinking it's really not my way right now and wanted to do like way more outside climbing on like very hard stuff and trying to push the level. Yeah. It's a nice feel too.
Yeah.
More peaceful.
Yeah, I believe that. But as we know that you enjoy being on the World Cup stage so much, do you miss that sometimes?
I was asking myself again in Sheffield, like in final, I really like the final stage. Really like it because it's like a scene, like you play, it's a theater. You play in front of a crowd and you give it all and you take all this energy from the crowd to give it back to the boulder. And being able to do that, it's such a nice feeling. And for me, it has been like the leitmotif of all my climbing career, like handling this energy, really.
Okay.
And I love it. It's like an energy addiction.
I believe. But I was also wondering, maybe sometimes it's good for an athlete to leave the audience out to focus on the boulder, but somehow you do the opposite of it. You ask the audience to cheer for you. You turn around, you smile at them. So
when it's like tight, I do that because I know somehow the audience will give me so much and exactly what I need to push through something I can't do without them, and I can do with them. You know, it's also like persuading yourself you can do something, but if there is an extra energy coming from outside pushing you to something, like for sure you did.
It helps.
It doesn't help. It's like it's doing it.
Cool. So, and when you go bouldering or climbing outside, do you have anyone giving you this outside energy?
Yeah, for sure, friends. Like when they cheer for you on boulders or No, for sure. Like, I'm not someone who can climb alone. Like, be focused on a boulder and just try by myself, like, until it just get down. No, I can't. I need, like, a crew. I need to help people also, and, like, I need this energy, for sure. I need to share.
Yeah.
For me, climbing is sharing.
So you enjoy as much to see other people bouldering, I guess, and cheer for them.
For sure. Yes, for sure.
Of course. And I mean, it's how many years ago since you quit competitions now?
2016.
2016?
But I've done master. 2017, I was like on 3 different master. And 2018, I didn't do anything because I was fully injured, finger. And back now. Yeah. So.
Do you realize any changes to when you've been into the competition scene, like into all the World Cups?
On the screen, when I watch a World Cup, I see there is way more like jumpy kind of style boulder, like more coordination stuff and so. But on master, I don't think the changed so much. I don't think. From 2016, no, I don't think so.
Do you realize that the younger athletes are like becoming stronger than you, more skilled than you, anything like that? Because like they train in a different way for the competitions?
I don't like to compare myself to like any kind of climber. I think every climber is very like talented specifically and in a way. Sometimes it really fits you, sometimes it doesn't. The most important is what you are going to take or what you're going to do with your talent. And focusing on others make no sense. Yeah. If you're doing as an athlete a competition and you look like, oh, this girl, oh, what she's doing and this and that, no, it doesn't work. Yeah. Like you need to focus on yourself.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's always a good advice, to not compare yourself too much.
And climbing is so much about different skills. You need to focus on your skills and improve your different skills.
Maybe it's also good to compare sometimes to learn from others. Was there any climber?
Watching is different than comparing. Yeah. Watching people is important for like to gain new movement, to understand position placements, and like getting inspiring by someone. Yes, but compare. In my perspective, I think it's not good.
Is there any climber you'd say by watching him or climbing with him you learned a lot, and what was it that you learned?
I think you learn from like watching everybody, pretty much. I can't tell you like one specific person. Maybe Jimmy Webb. Jimmy Webb is an outside climber. It's really impressive to see him, like his technique and what he like is doing with his size for sure. Like, but also how he engaged himself. It's pretty inspiring. Super good foot technique. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would also like to talk a little bit about your biography as a climber, because it's weird to say this, but you are quite old.
No, I'm not old. Only if you think you're old, you're getting older. But if you think you're young in your head, like it's crazy, you know. Like in the French Federation told me when I was 26, 26. Back 2014 that I was old, 26. Yeah. And then I started to believe them that I was getting older and that was finished for me. And then I was talking with my best friend and we were like going through, and then I thought, no, but it's just a question of statement in your head. Like if you think you like in the right position, like where you want to be and what you want to do, then it's not a question of age.
No, it's not. But the interesting thing for me is that you've experienced so much in the climbing scene. So
now, yes,
I would like to go back a little bit to where you started climbing. How did you get the idea to try it? What was it like for you the first time climbing or bouldering?
Well, kind of long time ago now. I was like I was 15 or 16. Don't remember so much, but 13 years ago. So imagine like a young teenager in the suburb of Bordeaux, pretty flat country over there.
It's like Berlin, where I come from.
Yeah, but we have the sea. Okay. Like everybody is either surfing or skateboarding. It's national sport over there. I pretty much tried every sport, like from collective sports to even very random sports and running and pole vaulting, everything. And then I figured out there was a mini climbing gym next to my place. And I tried the first year to subscribe, but there was no place anymore. So I had to wait 1 year. And then I subscribed and I tried. And it was straight, feeling it's my sport.
What was it that made you feel like, okay, I'm sticking with this now?
The challenge somehow, because it's such a mirror of yourself. Climbing is a mirror. When I started, also I was, maybe physically really made for it. Pretty skinny girls, strong fingers, very flexible, and I had pretty much strength straight away because I'm very explosive. But at the same time, I couldn't breathe. I was shaking like hell. That was pretty terrible. But this made me face on something. I was pretty successful on other sports straight away. And in climbing, I was successful, but I had so much to face.
Yeah,
to grow up as a person through my climbing. And also, there was a lot of people who did not believe on me, and that was a leitmotiv. I like it.
So you thought, okay, I have to do it. If they don't believe I can, I will show them.
Well, it was not only that, but it's for sure a full luggage of things. It was a challenge. Also, I could prove. Also, that was good. I was pretty shy.
Okay.
Pretty shy teenager.
And how did climbing change that?
Because I had a lot of support after when it started to be getting better on my climbing. Then a lot of people started to believe in me, and I started to shine a bit more and discover my all opportunities and what kind of person I wanted to become. And climbing helped me so much, much.
Did you have an idea, or when did this idea grow that this could be a thing that you will be living for, that you can be a pro climber?
I had no idea. Even when I was 23, going full on World Cups, my father was still helping me financially. It grew step by step. Never when I was 16 I would have said I'm gonna become a professional climber. Never. I was thinking about after high school, go to college, probably medicine. I was really into that. And then I choose climbing over studies most. I still continue studies, but So never I thought I'm gonna be a professional climber. It just somehow came step by step, after some success and so.
So at first you thought you wanted to be a doctor?
Yeah, I like to be a doctor somehow, on brain medicine, really all the neuronal, chirurgical stuff. Really interesting.
That's also interesting. So if you find such a passion, how it changes your life.
It totally, yeah.
At first you wanted to be a doctor, and then from in a year, or I don't know what.
It was probably 1 or 2 years, and changed from being really good at school to slowly not so good, and spending so much time. I figured out my last year of Matura, you say in German. I spent so much time in the gym. It was almost every night up to midnight, and then I come back into my place and I was so tired. I could barely go to my bed and eat something, then wake up again at 6 and then go again in school, almost sleeping in school because I was so tired, and then again just waiting to go climbing the nights, and I was just totally addicted.
Yeah.
And I'm still totally addicted, so I think that was a good choice.
Perfect. Can you compare the climbing or bouldering scene that you experienced in those first years and how it changed?
That's a really tough question. For sure, when I started, we call it old school climbing, more technical, smaller holds, or there was still some movement, but more powerful movement. And now it become very more coordination and risk, and kind of different kind of climbing. And the scene, I mean, it's just evolved with the people for sure. Like for sure there is more and more people, like and more gyms. So the variety of the kind of people changed too. Yeah. So hard question.
I believe. But I'm always interested because I haven't been in the scene for so long, and I always like to know how had it been before and what changed. And because you live in France. But you changed
too. Also, like you grew up as a person, and the people like enter in your life. Sometimes they go out of your life, but it's like life is a movement. Life is change. So. And it's hard to, it's also hard to compare like what was before from what you're living now. Because it's just moments, and moments just fly.
Okay. But I was also interested because I know that in Europe, Fontainebleau of France is like a center where bouldering developed. So I was wondering if there are some differences to Germany, for example.
I think the main difference is you don't have so much rock. So like most of the climber, especially like young guns and like who really push it, grew up in gyms and mostly do like gym climbing sessions. But also like in France, it's pretty much the same. Like with the growth of all those gyms, there is people who only come from that. But like I never spent so much like time as I'm spending now in Fontainebleau. Like I was more in the south, and so I don't really know either. But what I know is like since 10 years, so many gyms pop up in Paris. It's crazy. Like even if I think back in 2012, there was barely like one gym taking over, and now there is like 3 main chains who are like battling Paris like hell. And there is a young climber who grew up on this scene but don't go so much outside, and some grew up outside and train sometime inside. So I think it will always be like this. Just the percentage of people will change.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite climbing gym?
I'm mostly in Arcos. Yeah, it's one of the climbing gyms I'm mostly in Massy. It's close to my home. They're really nice people. I like the ethic. Yeah.
Okay. Back to your biography, can you tell us how you evolved as a climber? Because you also said that you had some stuff to work on to become better. Can you tell us a little bit about how you managed to do that? What you learned? What were your weaknesses?
My weaknesses? I have plenty of weakness. I think the most important is having the fire. When you have the fire to work on stuff to become better, it's the first step for sure. And then it's like question of like where you want to like be. The tricky point is like finding a place where you can settle, having the right people around you, and finding like yourself right to do the right thing for you. But it can be for like being an athlete, but it can be also in general in life for everybody.
So you have no example?
A concrete example?
A concrete example, because people always like to know, okay, I have this weakness too, so maybe I can try what Melissa did.
Oh, wow. But like in climbing?
Yeah.
In climbing. But it's so tough to say that. I wanted to always to be like super complete climber. I want to climb everything. And the harder it is for me, the better I enjoy it. It's kind of weird. But I will always choose like the hardest path. It sounds quite interesting, but I'm doing that. So like if I say, okay, this year I want to climb Action Direct, and I will go for it and train for it. I will do this route, even if it takes me 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's going through harder times with your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like if you struggle like with your technique, if you struggle with technique, like do it more and you will get better.
Yeah, so maybe one thing is to say not to choose the easy way. That's
for sure. Because if you take, for example, 2 climbers, one is super talented and one is a hard worker. I will bet 100 times on the hard worker. Why? Because he will push with his mental to be where he wants to go. No, to go where he wants to be.
Good. Okay, we got it. So
it was a hard question also, like, because when you think like one specific move or one specific thing, it's like just super precise. It's just, I don't know.
Well, if you
train more, you will be stronger.
Is of course, but
believe in it. I think the word is believing. Believe.
Yeah. Now we start believing, everyone. Let's talk about competitions again.
Sure.
Did you immediately enjoy competitions at the first competition you've been?
It was a mixed feeling. I loved it, but at the same time it made me so stressed. Like for me, it has been so hard to handle the stress. It took me years. Always when I start to be too stressed, I stop to breathe and then I shake. And that was the point, like for me to stop shaking. Even sometimes I shake because I forget about breathing. And yeah, because I'm stressed. So that was really hard for me. That was something really, really hard that I had to work really hard to go like through that.
That might be an example. And
is
how
an
did
example.
It change?
How did it change? I put work on it. I invest work. I did like breathing exercise. Try to had like tips telling in my head, like I start to shake now, chill down.
You have like sentences that you say to yourself.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's the sentence that goes on in your head?
It's in French. You will
tell
not
me.
know.
Tell me.
No, but like chill or like calm down or breathe or like easy words that you can command your your system. Like send an information in your body. Cool down. Or just like
you have to train so that it works. It just doesn't work the first time you try
No,
it.
for sure not.
Yeah.
So you have to like do it when you actually are training, and then do it a bit when you are on like lower stress level, like qualification or in competition or something.
What do you think is the thing that makes you most or made you feel stressed? Was it the thought, I have to make good results? Was it the thought, people are watching me? What is it?
There was never people are watching me. It's more like the expectation I was, my own expectation. Trying to give my best, but I was stressed about being my best. That was hard.
So you were fighting yourself?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Mixed feeling. But then you have to accept that when you are competing, you can fail, and you have to accept that you can fail. And when you accept it, you can accept to win. And when you accept to win, you can win. But you have to go to the step that you can fail, and it's okay. For sure you don't want, but you can. It might arrive. It's how it is.
Okay, that's wise. When did you start competing for the French nation, and what did that feel like, being an athlete for France?
It was back in 2008. I did my first European Youth Cup, and like wearing the national T-shirt was something I was very proud of it, for sure. And like the first international competition I took in Montauban, like the Boulder World Cup, 2008, I was so psyched, really, really, really psyched. Got addicted also. Yeah. It's a proper addiction.
And would you say that there is a highlight of your competition career, a moment or a competition you will always remember?
There is few. I think I was always searching not for the result, because like the result just fly afterwards. It's more about like moment when you are in the flow, when somehow something impossible happened. I remember one time, I think it was 2013 in Innsbruck. I was in final, and I could somehow hold like a swing that I will never have take normally. A full swing just with on a like really bad pinch, every like foot and everything just blow, and somehow I was still on. And those moments like is something like you search for.
Yeah.
Because you search in the flow, everything is going so slow, but you know it's going in the right way.
That's cool.
Do you sometimes get back to those moments? Because I know sometimes when I have these really positive moments, it sometimes helps me to go back there and remember. Do you do that?
Yes, I do sometimes, but also you can get stuck in those moments.
Yeah.
It's like getting stuck in the past or in future, or you need to be in the moment and you need to live like what she's living now. And if you always like think, yeah, I was feeling like that, because I was searching that. Like I had like a really successful year. I think it was 2011. I made few podiums and I was really like good on the ranking. In 2012, I was like so much searching for it. I was always like trying to feel again those moments and like always thinking about those moments, like how it was and how I should be, thinking about the past. But it was not the past, it was the moment, and I was not in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not working. You need to be in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like living what you have to live right now. If you think about what was before, you're already not in now. And then it doesn't work.
Yeah, I understand.
But it's like this, like in life in general.
This thing about remembering those moments, I'm always doing that when I feel bad. So it helps me like when I have a low to go back to these moments.
Yeah, you need to find like a way to get back on track for sure.
Yeah.
Then there is like different ways to go back. For sure, this is one way for sure.
Okay, so you are not on the World Cup scene anymore. Maybe you explained that when you stopped, but maybe you can explain again to my listeners why you decided to stop the competitions.
I decided to stop the competition because I was feeling too much like stress out of myself, not the team around me, but like the French Federation in general. Like I was not feeling in the right place anymore somehow. I had like very successful year in 2016, really, really good, especially the start. And then it was struggling somehow and fighting against myself to always like stay in this position. And I had not enough like breeze between somehow. Like for me, outside climbing has been so important. It was like always make me breathe out of competition, and somehow in 2016 I like the way how the evolution of the climbing and also like the spirit of the coaches at this time, for sure it helped me a lot to succeed some of what I wanted to do, but at the same time it restrained me a lot also. And I just decided it was just too much stress and I was getting too much injury. Like in 3 months I had like 3 different kind of injury and very bad ones. And in Paris I had like the most insane injury I have ever had just because of stress. And it was not healthy anymore. Then I first a finger for 1 month, and then I was able to climb somehow in Munich and stay in the podium somehow, like incredible. And in semi-final in Munich I blew up my knee. Then I couldn't walk for like a month. And like just before the World Championship, I could barely walk. And then I started, and in semi-final, straight away, had like really weird, how do you say, like, you see like a motor bicycle accident? Like you see the people who are like, for meters, they are sliding in the floor and so. And they have like burn in the skin.
Okay.
And I had that on a climbing move.
Yeah.
That is like something you can normally never have. And somehow I had it. And on just like, I did not fall really, like nothing. I just did a climbing move. So after like full reflection, stepping back, going like to vacation, think about it, coming back, talk to my coach, and I said that was enough. Because I couldn't handle it anymore. It was too much stress and I was destroying myself and I didn't want it anymore. So this is like, the backside of the comps.
I understand.
And I'm not like someone who handled the stress the best somehow. There is way, but too much competition screw me, for sure.
Okay. So are you now more like the boss of yourself? Decide on your own what you want to climb, where you want to go? How is your life now?
I was always the boss of myself. Like I was always choosing to go on this path. And I chose to go on this path. I really wanted it. And I was super happy that they helped me. And it was really successful at first. But somehow, I'm a free bird. I need something more freestyle somehow. I need to breathe. And being the nature in the outdoor, it give me so much. And this is a balance I need, like this peaceful balance. I lost it in 2016. Mm-hmm. And just like being in the gyms, and not like only training, nothing, and doing something else wasn't my thing. All summer, everything is sunshine. My friends are outside, and I'm like here alone, training by myself.
Yeah,
it was hard. This is why I quit it.
I understand. And what does your life look like now? Would you say that climbing is a job, or is your life just fun, or how do you live right now?
Well, I will say I build projects that like outdoor projects that I really want to do, or I take some occasion like that now, like I'm here, or I was at the quiff, or I'm doing an event, or like I'm talking with youth about training, or there is different kind of jobs I can do through climbing. It's like pretty interesting, but mostly I'm building projects. I'm going somewhere and I'm like try to climb projects everywhere in the world. So I'm not mostly at home. Yeah,
in Fontainebleau.
I'm not so often in Fontainebleau because I don't have so many projects over there anymore. Oh. There is plenty of for sure, but my friend is he's from Allgäu, so it's like also nice to like go around there.
Okay, so I was just wondering because of course Fontainebleau is a place where also German boulderers love to go to. And I was wondering, what's your favorite place there? Where could we meet you if we want to go to Fontainebleau this summer?
Well, the summer I'm not so much in Fontainebleau. Like I'm mostly like in winter times, like from November to March or something like this, because the conditions are super good at this time. But I'm a bit everywhere. Like in these artists, I will go for sure. This is my favorite parcours.
And what are your projects now? Things you want to do this year?
I have plenty. I have a long list of like very iconic climbing. So for sure, I want to go back in Action Directe. This is like on my list. I would like to do biography. This is also on my list. I have so many things. I want to go back in Madagascar to do this multi-pitch. Yeah. But now I'm in Ticino. And I'm trying a bit Dreamtime and a couple of other hard boulders. So much things. Coup de grâce also. It's another.
So you're ticking off all these famous problems now and famous lines.
Yeah, but for sure that they are like iconic for a reason because they are really beautiful. I'm singing for really beautiful lines.
Okay.
But they're hard, so it's a good challenge.
Yeah. Does this title, First Female Ascent, mean something to you? Because everyone is writing that you were the first woman to climb Wall Street. And what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I don't know. There's also a mixed feeling about it. For me, First Ascent means a lot because like it's a brand new rock and you need to get through it and you need to find like your way for sure, like a way. And sometimes you can do really absurd better, like, and then somebody like finds something else and make it easier. And this is like First Ascent things are like really meaning something. Female First Ascent, in a way, for sure it's good because you pushing the sports, and on sometimes like things like girls in general will be afraid to go because it's not. It will be really physical or not on the female most ability side. It's hard to say. But And on the other side, I don't really like it because there is such like becoming such a name out of it, full female accent. I think there is some abuse about it at the same time. I think it's always good to take the positive side, no? Let it like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't need the title. You don't need to call it like that.
Do you think it's a title?
I still think that we need more women in climbing. So maybe it's also good to have female role models. I don't know if it needs the title. Maybe it needs just more cool women to inspire. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's a good call.
I don't know. About your traveling, you already said that you are traveling a lot. Of course, you see a lot from the world too. What are the things that you like mostly about it, or the moments that you remember besides climbing somewhere?
The people.
Mm-hmm.
When you, for example, travel to Madagascar, one of the poorest countries in the world, and you get inspired by those people who has nothing, but really nothing. They live in the middle of nowhere with barely electricity and water, and it's just like they are smiling, They live in very poor condition, but they want to live like great things, So they put the mind on the bright side, and that's really inspiring. I think people, mostly.
And what does it feel like to you to come there, being like more privileged and go there, see what's happening there? What does it do to you?
But for sure it's touching, but at the same time it's what can you do in this condition? You can't save all those people. It's pretty selfish, but you also need to have a minimum to save yourself, life is a battle, and you really see it through them. But what is really important, I feel, it's giving a bit of yourself when you go on, because they will anyway give a bit of themselves. It's human.
Mm.
You feel you're out of, it's not comfort zone, but somehow it gives you so much back, because they are want to learn about you, because you're just so different. You come from another world, and the color of your skin, the color of your hair, why you don't speak like them, and what is this camera you're handling. They don't even understand how much possible it's to buy this kind of camera.
Do they understand why you come there to climb up rocks?
They lost, yeah, for sure. They understand a bit, but you climb Karambuni, they say, not climbing, but Karambuni.
Ah.
And you're come for that.
Okay.
For sure they will be more attracted by football.
So they know football more than climbing?
Oh, for sure. And they will even build it out of nothing, branch and stuff, and they play.
Mm. All right. I just found out that you are not only an outdoor climber, you're also a coach for Stasha Geo.
I did coach her, for a year.
For a year?
1 year last year.
Okay, how did that happen? How did you decide to do that?
She had some trouble with her ex or Slovenian coach.
Mm-hmm.
And she came to Fontainebleau one time 2 years ago. We are good friends, so I thought maybe I have some knowledge, and I trained a lot with different people, and I trained some people already. Then I proposed her, because also she had nobody, and I told her I would be keen to follow her and see how it's possible.
Mm.
It was pretty good. Just it's pretty hard to coach someone which is far, especially at this level.
I wanted to ask that, how you managed to do that.
Yeah, this is a tricky point. I think you need someone to be next to you.
Mm.
And
but how did you do it? Did she send you a video? You analyze it?
Basically.
Okay. And did you meet then a few times to train together? Okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately today, Stasha here at Studio Bloc Masters got injured.
She felt pretty bad.
Yeah.
With her knee just popped. Popped. Probably ligament or something like this.
Yeah.
She didn't have the result yet. Nothing broken, but...
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope it's not too bad. I was really looking forward to see her competing this year, but I guess it's going to be hard. So
Well, for the start of the season, probably, but there is plenty of comps at like the next half, and like there is no result yet, so she can't really say something probably now. And when she will know, she will decide what to do. But I think, like, if I will compete now, I will say the quali for the Olympic are the most important, and you can still do it the next half. And she is her own federation too, which is like super. It's easier
because she's the only climber from Serbia.
Yeah, and she can choose and be selected straight away for like any kind of comp she wants to do, like which will be not the case, for example, in France. In France, if something like that happen, you're just out of season like for whole season. Okay. Why? Because like you were selected for the first like 2 or 3. If you were good and you proved yourself, and then like you just pop your knee, then ciao. Good luck. See you next year, maybe. So she's lucky in a way. Let's say that.
I understand. So when now we're talking about coaching and training, I have some training questions because the listeners are always interested in training questions. And one really asked me the questions. She wants to know, how tall are you? What's your weight? And do you have any special diet?
Oh, nice. So I'm 168.5. My ape index is +7, so I have pretty long arm. I'm a bird. And I weigh around 52 kilos. Pretty stable. What is it?
What you eat? Is there
what
anything?
I eat? I'm doing like a naturopathy. You know, Heilpraktiker.
A Heilpraktiker?
Yeah, I am. So
you are a Heilpraktiker.
I am.
So you have a special.
So I use the most natural thing as possible. I have like a body who like pretty hard to build muscles, so I try to eat proteins at the right time after like exercising, for example. Veggies are super important, raw, like some slow cooked or something like this for vitamins. Yeah, no, it's normal, I would say. What is normal, I don't know, but...
Is there anything that you leave out of your diet?
I don't eat so much gluten, for example, because I found it's like, for sure it will increase all the acidity I have, and also like someone who like put acidity in tendons, and I can have like really easily tendinitis and stuff. So without that, I feel better. Or like lactose, same, milk.
So no gluten, no milk?
Yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes I will eat a pizza with friends, you know. It's like, it's like life is about balance.
Yeah.
Like
so
most important is like feeling great with yourself most of the time, and having this 1% when you go out of your way because you want it to be happy with your friend. This is a way for me.
You are not too strict with yourself.
No. Sometimes I did in the past. I was like really strict with myself because I really wanted to succeed so bad, but that was not the way. Really, I tell you, it's not the way, and you're not happy.
Yeah.
And being happy is the most important.
That's true.
And food somehow is like a big part of our life. So finding your balance is the most important.
So the happy climber is the best climber. Of course.
I believe it.
And about training. Do you have, now that you are not competing anymore, do you have like a strict, you said you don't do stuff too strict, but do you have a general training week or some things you follow right now?
I have like a coach, Guillaume Levernier. He's like studying in Paris a thesis about like training, climbing. Really talented, and he really helped me to build training plan for like projects mainly. So I will train mainly in winter and have like a pretty strict plan actually with cycles and like going through it, and then like spring, summer it's lighter. And we'll have more like rappel. But I need to like to train to feel good actually, because I train all my life and I need to continue. It's my way of feeling good.
So can you guide us like through your day? How does it look like? Do you wake up and train, or do you wake up and what do you do?
Well, it depends, but we'll say like if I go training, and have like, for example, 3 to 4 kind of training time. Like proper training will be like, for example, campusing or like finger strength exercise, or like different kind of like pulling, no foot or whatever. Yeah, then I will do it mostly like the first morning, like after a rest, and then I will go outside climbing. Then I go again outside climbing, and then I do some core exercise. Then I rest the third day, and I do again like 4s and 5s, and I rest, and I do maybe 6 some double. I do mostly double session.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will say like in a week, I will train, properly training, will say like being either on a campus board or on a bar or on a, for example, Beastmaker, or like some no foot or something like this.
What?
No feet climbing.
Okay.
We'll do it like 3 to 4 times a week. And the rest of the time, I either climb inside if the weather is not good, or on project outside.
And do you have a special way to train for a project? Do you sometimes then try to do certain moves in the gym, or to like construct something?
Yes, it can be, yeah.
Okay.
I do that on a system board. It's the easiest way to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
it's very efficient.
And do you do some special antagonist training? Is there like a day where you just train that, and what do you do?
I will say I will do it mostly either while warming up, or including it in different like training cycles. So for example, if I train biceps mostly, I will put some triceps like during the cycle. Or for example, when I will do some finger strength, then first I warm up on opposite, you know, like pushing with like a TheraBand, and you do a thing. Or when I feel a bit my shoulder, I always warm up and do some like opening exercise shoulder. Or also on the ring, if I do some ring, first I will do the ring, then I will do like the opposite.
So would you say that's something I heard a trainer on YouTube saying, who said actually you have to do antagonist training as much as you go climbing so that it's efficient? Would you say that? Do you do it? Really
I'm not doing that for sure. I don't know. Maybe he's right. I'm not doing it. Okay. Maybe because I don't like antagonist training as much as I like climbing, for sure. Quite a question of choices, you know.
Yeah.
For example, like if you have some back problems, doing some like, you know, like parachute exercise when it's really good.
What is the Can you explain the parachute exercise?
You lie in the floor, like
stomach on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like feet and arm up.
That's a Superman exercise.
You call it Superman? Okay.
I think it's the one I call Superman exercise.
All right.
Okay. But you said that you don't like it that much. So can you tell me what kind of exercises besides climbing do you really enjoy?
The campus board I really like. No feet climbing I really like, because it include like motion and like space around, and like being able to like being super precise on the hold. I really like doing one-arm pull-ups. Sounds really weird, but this is my my things. This is my goal. Like basic power exercise, like saying like I'm able to do one-arm pull-up, I'm able to do a plank for 10 seconds. This is something I like somehow.
Personal challenge, yeah. How many do you do one-arm pull-ups?
Now I can do 2.
Wow.
Yeah, now it's pretty good. But if you tell me that like 3 years back, I would not tell you even 1. So it's good, improving.
Okay.
Still improving, 29 years old, pretty good, no?
Yeah. Well, we already said that. That's not old. I did not mean that in the beginning. Okay, I forgot what I wanted to ask now. And is there any other kind of sport that you like to do, like swimming, running, anything that you would say, okay, it also helps me as a climber?
For example, I know that running helps really as a climber, because it maintains you a certain kind of fitness, but I hate it. So I was forcing myself when I was doing comps to run at least 30 minutes twice a week. But there was a pain in the ass, I'm sorry to say. Same for swimming. I like, for me, like repetitive kind of sport are pretty boring. But this is my personal thing. So I do mostly like skiing. I really like it, or like cross-country skiing. It's really cool, but you need to live like in pretty like winter conditions to do that. Going with my dog and throw sticks is pretty fun. This is my sport.
With what?
Going on a walk with my dog and throwing sticks.
Yeah, that's a good sport.
This is a pretty nice sport. I do like pretty regularly.
Yeah, that's also training.
Yeah, it's pretty
throwing sticks.
Yeah, especially because she's pretty psyched. I will say I walk like much outside to. Yeah, this is my extra sport. Like have walks in the mountains.
Was that your dog
Skiing.
that I saw you with now today?
Yeah, yes.
So cute. What's the name?
Oli.
Oli?
Yes.
Oh. Is it female or?
It's a female, yes.
Female, okay.
It's O-double-L-I-E. So Oli.
O-double-L-I-E. Ah, okay. Oli. That would be a male name in Germany.
Yeah, in France too, but somehow when I adopt her, like from my cousin, she already named her like that.
Oh.
And she was responding super well, so, well,
okay.
She's Oli.
Oli. Okay, Oli's not here right now. Where is Oli now?
She's just over there. Like, you can't see her from here.
No. You are here at the competition now. When you go to such a competition like the Studio Bloc Masters, do you before start training in a different way again? Like you trained when you were at the comps? Like do you go back to this old mode a little?
Do you mean like mentally or like training in
like
the gym?
You trained when you were competing at World Cups?
I did that back in 2017 when I was not competing anymore, but I was still going on Masters. I did prepare myself, but now this is pretty interesting. For Quiff, that like the comp I won like 2 weeks ago or so. Last time I touched plastic was 1 month before or so, 3 weeks before. So I did not prepare myself at all. I was just climbing outside and doing some strength exercise, basically.
That's interesting.
Well, it worked.
It worked. So funny, I interviewed Yannick Kruder last year, and he's a little bit the same. He also said that he only climbed outdoors before those competitions because it also like changed the mental game for him because he's more happy.
Yeah,
and that
sure.
helps him
to
be good at the comps.
It's funny because he was climbing with us last week in Ticino, and we had exactly this conversation. And I think you can only do that if you have enough experience already built from the comp and also experience in training, like basic strength exercise you've done for like years before. In my opinion, you can do that only if like you have been through a lot of things already. But like a young climber, if she or he only climbs outdoor and just like come sometime here, I don't think he will perform. Yana and I, we have like some, we'll say basic stuff we already been go through. Like we know how to walk on volumes. Well, maybe sometimes, I know. It depends what kind of shoe I wear. No, I'm kidding. If I wear soft shoe, it's better. But like, well, we know like what you need, like to walk on volume. We know what you need to do, like some coordination moves, like engage yourself. Like we know it.
Okay, that's interesting.
And we have the strengths from the past because we trained so much. This is my belief, and it's his belief too. That was, interesting.
Yeah, it is. The last question, it's a little bit like a summary of the interview. If you look back at your climbing life now, what would you say are the 3 things that made you a better climber?
I think believing in it. Belief is the most important. If you believe you can go somewhere or be someone, you have more chance. Then being stubborn about it. Yeah, even if someone will say no, like in your head, like you say yes. It's like bring you far, like on this world. And also listening to the people around at the same time, being open, like being open to learn around you. This is the 3 things I will say.
Okay. Melissa, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it was really cool talking to you.
Big pleasure.
Das war mein Interview mit Mélissa Le Nevé. Thank you again, Melissa. Getroffen habe ich sie bei den Studio Bloc Masters und wenn du mehr über sie wissen willst, ich habe dir ein paar Links in die Shownotes gepackt, wo du sie im Netz findest. Ich habe auch noch ein paar Boulder- und Klettervideos von ihr mit dabei und ich wünsche dir viel Spaß beim Anschauen. Wenn dir dieser Podcast gefallen hat, dann teile ihn doch gerne mit deinen Boulder-Buddies. Folge BIN WEG BOULDERN bei Instagram, Facebook, Twitter oder YouTube. Und du kannst mich auch gerne supporten. Da gibt es 2 Wege. Einmal mein Crowdfunding bei Steady oder du holst dir das BIN WEG BOULDERN Shirt oder ein BIN WEG BOULDERN Hoodie oder eine BIN WEG BOULDERN Tasse, was auch immer du magst. Die Links dazu gibt es in den Shownotes. Ich danke dir fürs Zuhören und natürlich auch für deinen Support. Juliane mein Name und ich bin WEG BOULDERN.